Hi guys, how's it going? I'm Eliza. Welcome to another vlog. So today is Thursday. Could be Thursday. It is Thursday, the 25th of May. And good news is another week is almost done. Tomorrow is Friday. Today was a pretty good day. I've been running a very successful few lessons this week, which have been really good. They finally finished their butterfly garden today, which was really good, so they did that. I've also got them working on this maths problem, and they've got to find they've got $1 million budget. They're like, are we actually gonna get $1 million? I was like, sure, like let me just whip this out of my pocket. I was like, no, because you're not going to get $1 million because I don't have $1 million. So unfortunately, I'm not going to give you $1 million. But I gave them $1 million budget, and they had to buy certain things. They had to buy a house. They couldn't spend any more than $550K on the house. They had to do at least one holiday. And they had to, you know, cover all their expenses, flights, accommodation, transport, food. They also had to put money away for their education if they were going to go to university. So they had certain things that they had to do, rules, and then the rest was up to them. And they just had to record basically their spending and you know, record that in a budget. So they actually love that. They've been going through like the real estate websites and looking for houses. I feel really bad because probably most of them won't have $1 million in their lifetime, but for this assignment, for argument's sake, it's an inheritance that they get, which is pretty generous anyway. So I thought it wasn't going to be too bad doing that. So as still getting on really well with my mentor teacher. She's really chill. She's really understanding. We're probably getting along too well, but in a way it's good, because I think team teaching is honestly so beneficial, not just for the kids, but as a teacher as well, to have another adult in the room. One, for support. Two, you know, to cover the workload. And three, to have that person actually walking around, you know, helping the other students while you're explaining something is really handy. It takes a lot of the pressure out of it. Unfortunately, it's not the case in most classrooms, but it should be. I definitely think it's worth doing. The kids benefit from it so much. It's just, you're able to do a lot more with two adults in the classroom, and on top of that, you just have adult conversation rather than just kids conversations all the time, which I have to admit, they're actually pretty funny, especially 11 and 12-year-olds. You can say a few jokes and it doesn't go, you know, completely over their head, and you can be a bit sarcastic with them. And like, for instance, one of them was like one of the kids was like one of the kids, he had his book shut, and I was just like, oh, you know, I've got a good tip for you. It turns out that if you actually open the book, it's a lot easier to read. And he's just like, oh, thanks, Ms. Baxter. Like, that's really nice of you. So I'll have those sorts of jokes. Rather than just yelling at them, I kind of just like, you know, you're doing the wrong thing. I see you. You better fix it or I'm gonna be pissed. And that's kind of my method, how I deal with behavior. And most of the time the kids are pretty good, and as long as you're actually providing them with entertaining lessons where they can get the concepts, just giving them worksheets works, sure. Like, and yeah, they can stay on task, and they'll probably be a lot easier for me as a teacher because it's less time going into planning. But I value and take pride in my work, and I also want them to get the most out of it. I want them to have fun, because if they are having fun, in the end, it's actually less behavior management for me, and I think they gain a lot more from that by being able to relate that to the world. I think us as humans, like as an adult, I work better that way. You know, if you're telling me the tax system or whatever, I might not be interested, I might not really understand, but then you look at something like, oh, okay, so I have to work out my taxes. How can I relate that to my situation? Or if I was to buy a house, what are some things I have to consider? And those are all things that I actually might have to deal with, or should be dealing with at some point in my life. Hopefully. Coming up next week, I have a full block, so I will technically be taking them from the get-go, the morning bell, till the afternoon bell, which is a big deal. Because it's a lot of time that you're just thinking, and you have to be prepared for those kids who finish their work first. You have to be prepared. You have to be prepared that some of the kids won't finish the work that you've given. And you have to accommodate for everyone and make sure that they're not bored, because when they're bored, they get upset. Kids get bored easily. I get bored easily. So 11 and 12-year-olds probably aren't going to manage that as well as me. I mean, that's debatable because I'm terrible when it comes to patience and like doing the right thing. But I think it's really important to update you guys on what I'm doing, and also for my own learning and my journey and my progress, and you know how I'm improving. Even in the last week, like I said before I went, I would feel quite comfortable and confident going into a classroom and teaching. Yes, I would have been, but all this extra experience doesn't hurt. It's great. You can draw from other teachers and go, that's a really good idea, I should do that. That's a really good idea, or maybe I wouldn't do that certain thing. Or I can see why the kids didn't like that because I wouldn't like that, and so now I can modify what that teacher's done and change it for my kids. And you know, that's teaching. It's just figuring out, okay, what's the best, most efficient way to teach this concept. You know, the concept might be what a budget is, and so that's why instead of just getting them to work out addition and subtraction and multiplication, I'm giving them real life scenarios to put it into practice and actually relate that. And I just believe, and studies show, that kids benefit from that kind of constructivist theory of learning and development. And you know, as a teacher, it's important for me to consider that. And not everyone learns in the same way, but that's why I provide a variety of different activities, and it's usually more than just one thing. They are loving their geography at the moment, which makes me so happy. It makes me so happy, mainly because like geography, yes, there's some boring bits. I get that. There were some lessons I hated, I couldn't stand being in, but I love learning about different countries and cultures. Like, I love that. And even still now, I'm getting such enjoyment watching them do it. So they work in pairs, and some of them have an Asian country, some of them have a European country, and they have to basically, you know, research it. So population, they got to find a map, the capital city, the major cities. What else do they have to do? Did I say the flag, the language, religions, famous landmarks, or you know, geographical features, stuff that I think is important to know about. And they're going to present it so that they kind of get this broad view of all the different countries of Europe. So we've got some kids doing Iceland, we've got some kids doing India, we've got some people doing Russia, we've got some doing Germany. What else is there? Italy. I think I've got Japan, South Korea, maybe Switzerland, Sweden I've got, and it's really cool. And they're just going, oh look, Miss Baxter, look what I found out about this country. And I'm like, that's cool, because I didn't even know that. So I actually get really into it. I'm learning as well, and I'm just happy that they're having a good time. And even today, like, they were walking out of like the computer room, and one of them was just like, that was actually pretty fun. I was like, success. That's what you want as a teacher, just for them to enjoy it and not hate your lesson idea, especially if it's something that you've created and you've put time into and effort into, just to make sure that they are enjoying it. So tick that. I think that's a good thing. And I'm really enjoying, going on with, I'm really enjoying them going on with that, and I'm glad they're enjoying it. And as I said, I'm learning from it, so that's a good thing. I've decided that I would take work off this weekend. It's just been so busy, and it is still busy, and it's just going to get busier. And rather than stress myself out, I have made the executive decision to not go to work on Sunday, which part of me feels a little bit guilty about that, and the other part of me goes, you know what, this is what's important to me, because this is my main teaching experience. This is where I probably gain the most, rather than being in a classroom, because I'm in the job. I'm in the job I want to do. I'm doing it, you know. And so what better way to learn than being thrown in the deep end, except there's that pressure taken off because I'm not being paid to be there. It's all part of my training and my degree. So I think it's worth it. I'm definitely getting a lot more out of this one than last year. I still got a lot out of last year, but I think it's just a different vibe, and I'm older and I'm mature and I've learned more. And I think because my vision's a lot clearer, it's easier for me to see what the purpose is in me going to that extra effort and putting in that, you know, putting in a little bit more work so that they actually do enjoy it, you know? Anyway, guys, I just wanted to update you again, because I just never know when I'm going to get the chance. I have been a little bit organized today, which is awesome, like in school, so I'm actually prepared for tomorrow, semi-prepared for tomorrow. It's just constant. It's like, it's a lifestyle. I'm dreaming of the school. I'm waking up and it's the first thing I think of is what I have to do for the day, what I still need to organize, what I need to get printed, what I need to put in a PowerPoint so I can put it up on the screen for them. It's constant. Anyone who thinks teaching is like the backup job or something just to do, no, you gotta love it, because it's a shitload of work and a shitload of importance, is, you know, put on it, and I think it should be, because it's extremely vital to have educated kids growing up to be the future leaders of our countries and our world and making the policy. So of course you want them to be as educated as possible so that they can make the most informed decisions possible. Crazy, I know. But I'll leave that there, guys. I am going to go do that now, get it out of the way so I can relax. There's footy on tonight, which is great. I love Aussie rules football. If you're not into it, I highly recommend that you do. And this season especially is a good one to get into because my team is currently #1. Alright team, I'm going to leave that there, but until next time, hopefully I get a chance to do a vlog this weekend. If I don't, it will be next week, hopefully. So take care of yourselves. I hope your Thursday, Friday, weekend, everything is fun and eventful and enjoyable and stress-free, probably most importantly. And I do just want to say thank you as always for your support, your words of encouragement, especially during this placement. Like, it makes a difference. It helps me, and you know, I'm glad that I've still got my YouTube to be able to go to, because I love venting. This is almost venting, and it's chatting, and it's, you know, no one can go shut up, Eliza, I want to speak now. It's just me talking at you. But for those of you who have found that interesting enough to listen up until this point, I thank you for that, because I think it's good to share experiences, and everyone has their passions, and I think anytime anyone's talking about their passions, just support it. Even if you don't necessarily get their excitement or their passion, if someone's passionate about something, I think that's great, and I think that should be nurtured and supported, and you know, help them achieve that, because that's what you want. You want passionate people doing the things that they're passionate about. It seems straightforward, but some people don't get that. So I appreciate you guys listening to me. I appreciate your comments and your words of support and encouragement. It means a lot to me, and I'm extremely grateful for that. So thank you. And as always, take care of yourselves. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're having a good week, you have a good weekend. Nothing too stressful, I hope. And I will catch you guys very soon for my next one. So until then, take care of yourselves and peace out.